Welcome back to the Post Up Podcast, episode 20. We're back. It's been like a month. We've had a nice holidays, Christmas, New Year's. Hope everybody else had a nice holiday, Christmas and New Year's. We've got a lot to get through, so let's get right into it. So, the Christmas period has been better for me than it has been for you. Not because of Christmas and presents, for basketball, because we don't give presents.
Yeah, it's been miserable in basketball.
Yeah. For you. Not for me. It's been absolutely incredible for me. But, go on, how has it been being a Sixers fan over this lovely festive period?
So, we've lost a lot.
Yeah.
I think we've played about 10 games. We've won 4 and lost 6.
What a record.
In the games we won, apart from the Bucks game on Christmas Day, every other game we've been horrific.
You weren't that bad against the Thunder the other night.
Yeah, but at times there was still... Well, when we had a lead, I never felt safe. I never felt secure. And that's like the theme of the season. We could have a 25-point lead, but within 2 minutes that could be down to 5 points.
Yeah, looking at the losses though, you did have a difficult Christmas running, and the games that you probably should have won, like the Wizards and Pistons, you did win. But like you probably should have beat the Magic because of like how basic their offense is.
Yeah, we should have.
But like Miami, fair enough, and like Pacers is like a maybe game.
And Embiid didn't play that game.
Yeah, but like the Rockets and Dallas is like.
Luka didn't play that game.
Oh, okay.
So we should have beaten Dallas.
You're awful then, basically.
And we were home, I think. So it's been rough, and I think you've seen on Twitter people are saying Embiid and Simmons, can they coexist? No, yeah. Obviously no. But it's at that point now where if we trade one of them, are we going to be able to bring players in return going to help us win a championship? And I don't really know if that's possible. So we might just be stuck.
Okay, so the other night, you messaged me saying I don't remember what defeat it was, but it was one of them. And you messaged me saying we should trade Embiid. He's big rubbish. I don't know what you actually said, but
yeah, from nowhere is it?
Are you still sticking to we should trade Embiid?
Right. If we have to trade one of them, which I think we're going to get to the point where we will have to trade one, I would choose Embiid to trade, because he's the better player on paper. I think we could get a lot for him. And he's the type of player, by the time he turns 29, he's going to be useless. His body's going to break down. He's already 26, I think, 25. I think he turns 26 next year in March. So he's only got a couple of more years left. And I think this year, he's shown when he doesn't look after his body and when he doesn't care, he's a problem. You don't want him on the court. And I think Ben has the potential of Giannis if you build the right team around him. Nah, I'm saying if you build the right team around him,
potential. But will he ever fulfill that potential?
I think
most definitely not.
You have to put him in the right environment, and the environment that he's in now is far from the right one. He's not even willing to shoot to make Embiid's life easier.
For Ben to fulfill this potential, does that mean sacking Brett Brown? Because he took blame. He took partial blame for Ben not shooting this season, and obviously a big reason why Ben doesn't look like he'll fulfill his potential is because he isn't shooting, and he takes no shots anywhere closer or further away than like a foot away from the rim.
Let me just start this by saying Brett Brown is basically Ben's uncle in a way. He grew up with him. He coached his father. He's basically like a family member to Ben. So I think sacking Brett would be the worst thing to do. But after Ben made a 3-pointer against the Knicks, Brett Brown said, I want him to shoot at least 1 attempt per game. Since then, he's had about 20 games or 15 games. He hasn't even attempted one. So I don't know why Brett hasn't been able to get through to Ben. Maybe that is a problem, but yeah, maybe I'm just biased about Brett Brown because he's been through the process with us, and now we're at, well, not really the pinnacle, but we're getting close to it, and it'd be a shame to see him go. I feel like he deserves to see it through. And then at the end of the day, if he can't get the best out of Ben, who else is going to get the best out of him?
Billy Donovan.
Hell no.
Not Billy Donovan.
We want to win.
Oh, well. If you want something to win over Christmas, but no. Would you rather... So you said Embiid's 25 and you think he'll fall off by he's 29. Yeah. Would you rather 4 years of Embiid blowing hot and cold with injuries and performances... Would you rather keep that Embiid or keep a Ben Simmons who never shoots?
keep it Ben Simmons. Because Embiid, well, you've seen it this year. When he doesn't care, it's like, just get off the pitch. Get off the court. Get off the court, rather. But obviously he's not playing football. But yeah, I don't know if Embiid's ever going to play with that motivation. Because he's visibly annoyed on the court. You can tell when Embiid's in the post on his own, and then all of a sudden Ben for some reason cuts, instead of just go in the corner, just stay in the corner and just space the floor. But Ben will run straight into Embiid, and then he's messed her up. Embiid's got no more space. So one of them will have to go eventually, maybe in the summer, after we lose in the second round again. It would be a shame because they were meant to be the future, but if either one has to go, I'm choosing Embiid to go.
Well, over this Christmas period, we've seen the problems with this 76ers team, and well, I don't know if you feel the same, but from my perspective, it looks like you're very much lacking a shooter.
Yeah, I think that's obvious.
Yeah, I mean, it is obvious. So, who or what would you want to happen for this team before this trade deadline to fix these problems?
Ideally trade Tobias Harris, but I know that's not going to happen because he's a nice guy.
We've all seen the rumours of your interest in CJ McCollum. Why does that sound really weird to say? Whatever. Do you think there's any chance of you trading Toby for CJ?
No, I think the only way that deal gets done is by trading Al Horford, and if we trade Horford, we're basically just throwing away our playoff chances because we need Horford against the Bucks.
Yeah.
So if we trade Horford, we're screwed. The only way to fix this team in a way is by trading Tobias, but that's not going to happen because he's a nice guy. Everyone likes Tobias as a person.
Yeah, but you can be nice and not be good at basketball. And
like Toby is good, but he's not the right fit for us.
He's good, but he's not good all the time.
I mean, he had like an awful start of the season, but it's frustrating. Like Toby, I think I've said to you before in the past, where he could have 15 points in the first quarter, but I would still be annoyed at him for not doing a certain type of defensive rotation or like making a certain pass, or I don't know. He's a strange player.
Looking in from the outside, he's not a player that I would trust. If he was on my team, he's not a player that I'd be like, oh yeah, he'll get us like 20 odd points a game. He's not, like, he could put up like 7 or he'll put up 30.
No, he is fairly consistent. Like, but even when he's having a really bad game, shooting like 4 for 13, he'll still put up 15 points. But those sort of like inefficient games is just not helpful at all. When he's not making shots, he offers nothing. And he's just a waste of space on the floor, really. And yeah, he doesn't have like horrific games too often, but for someone who's getting paid the max amount of money, it is a little too often.
There's gonna have to be some trades if it's gonna be a successful year for you guys.
I just want a season where everything goes good and we make no trades. Because I feel we last year we just made so many trades, and I just want a team.
I mean, but the trade for Butler kind of helped your team last year. Maybe that could be the same trade.
I wish we kept him.
I mean, yeah, you could do with him instead of Jay Rich, who doesn't offer much on the offense.
If we could get Chris Paul in just for the remainder of the season
on
a loan deal, that'd be perfect.
Don't do loans in basketball, my friend.
I wish he did.
Talking about Mr. Clutch Paul himself and my new favourite player.
Mm-hmm.
No, I won't go that far, but he is an absolute god in the last 5 minutes of basketball games. And it's probably been the best month or so of basketball I've ever watched. Yeah, it was fun going to the playoff conference finals. Yeah, it was fun blowing 3-1 leads. But there's something about this team. We're 9-2 over since we've done the last episode. And the only teams we've lost to, the Grizzlies, annoying, and the Sixers in that game the other night, which was, I know we probably should have won that game. But like, we beat the Raptors. We've not had to play that many difficult teams. I mean, we beat the Clippers. I mean, what more do you want from us? I mean, we'll get onto the Clippers and what we think about them. We beat the Mavs. Doncic didn't play that game, but I mean, we've got a difficult run in now. We've got
you
Houston
have had
Thursday.
a very easy stretch over there for Christmas.
No, I wouldn't say very easy. I would say favourable. But compared to what people were saying we'd be like in the off season, we're in the playoffs. I was getting a nosebleed at like at the 6th seed, at the 8th seed. We're in the 7th seed now, and we look comfortable because how bad like the not really the Pelicans, but the Trailblazers and the Spurs are doing, and thank God the Suns have fallen off. So I mean, Clutch Paul. Chris Paul is probably the most clutch player I've ever seen play.
For the Thunder or
no,
ever?
Ever. I mean, I've only been watching basketball for about 5 years, but you just give that the last 5 minutes of a game, you give that man the ball. I mean, the Nets the other night. We watched the highlights. Well, I watched the game, but we watched the highlights earlier, and just making step back twos over Jared Allen consistently, just every possession. We were down by like 9, and he just dragged it back with world-class shots, all-star level shots.
It reminded me of Jimmy Butler from last season.
Chris Paul's better than Jimmy Butler.
As soon as the clock hit with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, you knew Jimmy would have the ball every single possession. He would take every single shot. And at the time, I weren't a fan of it, but now I realise how useful it is having a player who's willing to take those shots. And I feel like that's how that's why OKC have won so many games.
Well, it's even better seeing. Well, over the years, we've not really been a clutch team.
Well, you've had Westbrook on your team, that's why.
Yeah, throwing bricks.
Yeah.
But we're first in the NBA for defense and offense, I think, but definitely defense in the last 5 minutes of games. I think we've hit the most clutch shots this season, and that's what the Nets commentators were saying last night. So if I'm wrong, blame them, don't blame me.
And you're unstoppable in overtime.
Yeah, and we're 3-0 in overtime, and absolutely battering teams. I mean, it was 10-2 in overtime against the Nets. We destroyed the Sixers in overtime earlier this season.
That was painful.
I think it was the Pelicans earlier this season that we destroyed in overtime. But yeah, if I couldn't have asked for a better Christmas.
Must be nice.
And the basketball was good as well. Yeah. Well, but before we end on OKC, I have to mention Dennis Schroeder, sixth man of the year. Dennis Schroeder.
Hell no.
17 plus points in 17 games in a row. For number 17, yeah, that was the 18th game, but 17 games in a row, he put up 17 plus points. Most of the time it was over 20. And, I mean, probably the best backup, like off the bench point guard in the league at the moment. Like, playing-wise, like form-wise.
Probably.
I mean, it's him and D-Rose.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good shot.
But because we're winning, he's having a bigger effect.
He is a good player.
Yeah.
Got to admit it.
And one last thing on CP3. It's amazing. It's amazing to watch him just kind of mould Shai into the player he is. Like, Shai missed a shot in the game against the Nets, and in the timeout, CP3 went over to him and was just talking to him like about what he could do better, and he's just making him play so much better. I feel like CP3's turning Shai, SGA, whatever you want to call him, into a future All-Star.
He's going to be an All-Star anyway, but having Chris Paul in his development years is perfect.
It's the best possible outcome. It'd been a lot better having CP3 training, like mentoring him rather than Russ.
Yeah, it's similar last year, I think, but it seems like a lifetime ago, when we had Landry Shamet with JJ Redick. Where they had that similar relationship where Redick was teaching him everything. And I feel that helped Shamet so much. And I feel like you're seeing, although Shai has slowed down as the season progressed, he's going to be a superstar one day. He's going to be such a good player. The best Canadian player of all time, maybe.
Yeah, definitely better than Tristan Thompson.
And Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah. And Drake. But it's even better for Shai because he's got Chris Paul teaching him how to do these little moves in the paint, like these ball handling and the step back twos he makes. Then he's got Dennis Schroeder, who's idol with Russell Westbrook. And one thing Dennis Schroeder's amazing at is cutting to the basket and just absolutely outpacing players and finishing under the rim. And this season, Shai's been so much better at finishing under the rim and just layups in general. I feel like Dennis is probably helping him with that as well. I mean, he's living his best life. I need a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander jersey.
Everyone fit on the back.
It will fit on the back. Well, instead of covering the month that we've been away, because that would take us way too long, I feel like we should just discuss how some teams have been getting on. And we'll start with the Lakers. I mean, at the beginning of the season, neither of us predicted them to be doing as well as they are.
I was wrong.
I mean, yeah, well, let's have a look. I had them in the 5th seed, you had them in the 7th seed. That kind of looks stupid now, really, doesn't it, since they're in the 1st seed?
I mean, there's still half a season left, so...
But do they really look like they're going to slow down?
I mean, LeBron is old. AD is injury prone.
I mean, well...
There's still... the reason I put him down there, I'm still sticking with those reasons, because it could still happen. You never know.
They could fall, though, from the 1st seed all the way down to the 7th seed where you put them?
Maybe, not that far now. Maybe down to the 4th seed.
But you say LeBron's old. I mean, he's putting up 26, 7 and 11.
He's an old man.
AD, injury prone. I mean, he fell on his back last night or a few nights ago. And the MRI is clear, and he is fit to go on the 2-game road trip. So, I mean, he's doing alright for an injury prone guy. Not missed many games this season. And neither has LeBron.
Yeah.
Even for the ripe old age of 47.
I haven't watched too many Laker games, obviously, because they're on so late over here. But where I have seen, they do look good. Yeah, obviously, because they go on the best records in the league.
The one game I did watch was them against OKC, and they just absolutely lit us for 3-pointers, like most teams do in the league. I can't decide if it's bad perimeter defense or teams are getting lucky.
It must be because Philly lit you up.
Yeah, but when Caldwell Pope's like 4 for 4, I mean, Taurean Prince was 4 for 4 in the first quarter against us. But yeah, but they don't shoot amazing 3-point percentage, but it's like watching the Clippers like back in the day with CP3 throwing it to Blake Griffin. I mean, everybody's just lobbing it to AD, and I mean they don't have much in the way of like real like a backup in points without AD and LeBron. But yeah. I mean, trade season's begun. I mean,
for them to win a championship, everyone needs to be fully healthy.
Yeah.
Even if like Rondo is out,
I don't think they'll win a championship.
Or if Dwight Howard is out or JaVale McGee, that's going to affect them massively because they got no one to step into their place.
I feel like this year might be a bit of a. I don't want to say because.
They have to win this year because LeBron's only 36 next year.
I was saying I don't think the Lakers will win the championship. But I was going to say, I think it might be a shock. But I was thinking Denver, but I don't think Denver winning would be much.
They're not made for the playoffs.
I know, but I know that because they lost to the Spurs. But I'm just thinking if everybody just hits the form at the right time.
Well,
but right now it's all set
up for
it's all set up for the Bucks.
The Bucks. Well, if only there was a team out there who were built to stop
Giannis.
Yeah,
but you were 4-6 over Christmas.
We just need to find a way to get to the
finals.
finals.
You beat the Bucks though.
We demolished the Bucks. Did you watch the game?
I didn't. Was it Christmas Day?
Yeah.
I caught the second half.
I felt sorry for the Bucks. We embarrassed them. Giannis 0 for 7 for 3. So, if we can somehow finesse our way to the conference finals, we're going to the finals and we're going to win it. Yeah, but we just have to get there somehow.
See that ESPN and all those Giannis stands? 0 from 3 from 3-point. Giannis has not gained a 3-point shot this season.
You just take it more.
Yeah, he's just shooting more and shooting inefficiently. Like, he's not gained a 3-point. He's not, like, calm down, everybody. I feel like basketball, I don't know if it's like this in other American sports, but as soon as, like, one thing happens, everybody jumps on it, and it's like, everybody overhypes it so much. It's like, Giannis made, what was it, 7 threes in that game?
Against us?
No, not against you.
He made, no, it wasn't.
In a game, he made quite a few.
Maybe 5 or something.
Whatever. He made a career-high amount of threes, and everybody was saying, oh, Giannis has gained a 3-point shot.
Do you remember pre-season
No.
when Ben Simmons hit a 3-point shot?
Yeah.
They did that with Ben.
Ben Simmons gained a 3-point shot, yes! Still yet to hit one against an actual NBA team, though.
Unfortunately.
Will we ever see it? Probably not.
Give him 2 more years.
Probably not. So a team moving not across LA because they play in the same stadium.
Yeah. Staying right where we are.
Arena. Staying in the exact same building. A team that we both predicted to run away with the conference and probably the NBA championships this summer. The Clippers. I mean, have you got anything to say before I just end up roasting them?
I feel like they're the Sixers of the West.
Yeah.
They had such a good team, a deep team as well, and they were heavy favourites to come through in the playoffs. And they've disappointed in part because of injury. Same with the Sixers. in part of having such a new team, they're still yet to really build chemistry, and it doesn't help when PG was out at the start of the season and then Kawhi is missing games for load management. So I just feel they haven't really had a chance to gain team cohesion. With Kawhi missing so many games, are they ever going to gain that sort of...
No.
You never know, I suppose. Or Kawhi will just end up doing Kawhi stuff in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, the big problem is the team cohesion, and that is my problem with the Clippers. I get that you need to do the all load management with Kawhi because he's a 40-year-old man and his body doesn't work. And I get that obviously PG's a lot more efficient, playing more efficiently, not points-wise, I mean like actually turning up for games with his brand new shoulders that he said he gained over the summer. But the cohesion is a problem, and you're not really going to build much, because with players like PG and Kawhi, yes, they can carry a team by themselves, but it's a very different game from carrying a team by yourself and having two superstars together, and they need to play regularly together. So obviously, while they've both been out, Montrezl Harrell and Lou Williams been picking up the slack, and they had some things to say about how their team's been playing. Montrezl Harrell said, "We're not a great team. We're not a great team." Why do you say it twice for? we're not a great team. I think that's what we need to realise and wake up. We're a team that still has to figure out things to win night in and night out. And Lou Williams said, we're getting to the halfway point. It's only so much longer we can say we're figuring it out. We got to start figuring it out. We got to start figuring it out.
It sounds just like the Sixers.
It's the same problem with the Sixers.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say... Well, yeah, I'm going to say it. The Clippers have more, game winners. Whereas, Montrezl Harrell, Lou Williams, PG and Kawhi, if one of them played, they could still get, a 120 win. Because that player could put up 30. Where if you look at Philly, if Ben Simmons doesn't play, Embiid... I wouldn't trust... if Embiid didn't play, I wouldn't trust Ben Simmons to do it by himself. And if Embiid and Simmons didn't play, you wouldn't trust Jay Rich, Toby, and Al Horford to do it themselves because they're not those type of players. So they do need to figure out the Clippers, but not as much as Philly need to. But I mean, we've spoken enough about Philly.
But then again, with the Clippers, you mentioned they got those four players who could all score 30 points on any given night. But the Sixers only have maybe two. That's not a great thing to have as a team. If you've got four players who can all average 30, 25, let's say just 25, they could all average 25 if they wanted to. That's a problem because there's only one ball. And they're all aren't going to get the shots they want. And they'll have to make the bigger adjustment. Because on our team, Jay Rich and Horford, they're not expecting to shoot. Same with Ben, he's not going to shoot. So I feel it's a tough thing for the Clippers and their players to adjust to not shooting and not being allowed to shoot as often.
And that's what I'm saying. With this constant load management and Kawhi barely playing any games, they said that they'd start getting him in back-to-backs closer to the playoffs. But is that too late? Because two superstars with PG and Kawhi, they need to have just start now. And if because the worst possible scenario is you play Kawhi every game and PG every game and Harrell and Lou Williams and they all learn to play together and then they're ready for the playoffs and you go and win the playoffs. That's the best possible outcome. Worst possible outcome is Kawhi gets injured after playing 2 back-to-backs. He's out for the season. But then you don't have to worry about load management Kawhi and you can concentrate on building the team around PG and using Harrell and Lou Williams and try and win the playoffs. Because last season, PG proved that he can carry a team. I mean, Russ career low in numbers and PG put career high in every single stat line. So he's definitely, if he didn't go to the Clippers and he stayed at OKC and Russ left and everything, he'd be the leader in the team. He's at that point in his career now where he can be a leader and carry a team.
But being Kawhi, a very quiet bloke, he's not the leader of that team. And
no, but on the basketball court with points and performances, he is.
But also with Kawhi, you're in the prime of your career. You're in your mid to late 20s. Why and how do you have the body of a 45-year-old athlete? I don't get how he can't play in back-to-backs. With Embiid, he's 7'2" and overweight. Fair enough, he shouldn't be able to play in back-to-backs. With Kawhi, he's 6'7". He's he's not even overweight. Yeah, he has a good frame. And just why? I don't get. Does he have a chronic injury with his knees where he just literally cannot move, or because if it's anything less than that, he should be able to play. By now at least, because it's been so long. With Toronto last year, never played him back to back. So he always took nights off. So surely by now, he should be fixed. But it seems like it's even worse because his performances aren't even up to the level it was last year.
I say Kawhi retires and they let the Clippers play without him.
I think Kawhi's going to be a type of player who retires at 32, or just walks away from the game, from injuries.
And you definitely won't be a pundit because that man has no personality.
He's a fun guy.
He's not a fun guy. Yeah, that's the roast. That's the roast of the Clippers. Sort yourselves out. I want PG to win a ring. I don't really care who wins the championships this season. We're not involved. We're
We're not involved. We are.
Okay, no, we're.
We're
as OKC. I want to talk about me and you now.
Yes, it will.
You're involved. Very slightly.
You might be involved.
I mean, yeah.
You might get knocked off first round again.
I mean, another first round knockout is what we're aiming for. But it's more like if a first round knockout for us seems bad, but it isn't, because with the players we've got, it's good. Like experience for play. Like you look at Doncic now at Dallas. Everybody's saying like, oh, they can go and win the playoffs. No, they can't. Half of their team have never. Half of the team has never even played a playoff game. I mean, it's important. So it'd be great for them this year to get like the 4th or 5th seed, try and get home court advantage, and like even try and get past the first round would be amazing. I mean, it'd be a lot easier if they got a home court advantage, but yeah, it'd be good. I wouldn't be annoyed at a first round knockout this year. It's expected and good experience for the boys.
On paper, it's good to get that experience, but I think we last year with the Sixers, I said, yeah, I don't care that we lost. This is a good experience. Embiid and Simmons going to learn from this. It just seems like that loss to Toronto broke them. Do you remember Embiid's return to Toronto? He scored 0 points.
Yeah.
So
you try to get over that mental block.
Exactly. Yeah. If you can't get over that,
hopefully you don't play Toronto in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's why I told you I'm most scared of Toronto in the East. Like Milwaukee, yeah, we can handle them. Toronto, the team I'm scared of.
Moving over to the East Coast and a team that you hate and have had a absolutely, well, is it incredible? What's their record over them?
It's a good season they've had. Very good.
Well, it's been a good season, but the Christmas period especially has been very good. Boston Celtics, second in the Eastern Conference, not what we expected. 8-2 in their last 10 games, and flying. And players, it's almost like getting rid of the most toxic player in sport or in basketball, taking them out of your team, and then letting all these young players play basketball they want. And then you got Tatum and Brown. Brown's had one of the best Christmases you could ever ask for.
Well, yeah, I'm not happy.
No, you're not happy because you don't like the Celtics, but like, I don't mind the Celtics.
It's strange. Like, whenever I watch the Celtics, then they've never impressed me. Like, I'm confused. Like, are they a good regular season team? Like Denver? Like, come playoff time, are they going to show up? Because Kemba, he hasn't had much experience in the playoffs.
But he's an experienced player.
Experience in regular season and playoffs are completely different. Tatum, yeah, they're still young, like those lot, the 2 J's. But then again, do you remember when
2 J's?
Jason and Jalen. But
that's their nickname.
Yeah, do you know when they got to the conference finals without Kyrie and Hayward? Tatum went off in the playoffs. He was averaging 20 a game, maybe 25. And is he able to replicate that with more pressure on him, with expectations? If they go in at the 2 seed, people are going to expect them to get to at least the conference finals, and it'll be interesting to see how they handle that.
They'll be a fun team to watch in the playoffs. I'll be watching their games.
Can you imagine if we match up against them in the first round?
Ooh, I mean, it's likely the formula.
We'd win in 5, but it would be a decent series.
Philly in 5. I don't know much more to say about the Celtics. They just watching Jalen, like, because I quite like these players, Tatum, Brown, Hayward, nice people. And it's good to see them, like, watching that game where Brown put up, watching him put up his career high. It was just nice to watch. I feel he deserves this.
Like, I want to dislike them, but like, how can you hate Kemba? How can you hate Tatum? Yeah. Like, they're nice people.
And I've said it multiple times. Kemba bought his house on the beach. Not really, because there's no beaches in Boston, but metaphorically, he's retired. He's bought a nice house by the beach, and he's living his best life. But he's living in Boston, not the beach.
Yeah. Well done.
I don't know where beaches are. Miami's the
Try the coast.
Miami. Yeah, Celtics, good luck in the playoffs. I'll be watching some of your games that are on at reasonable times. Toronto. Sorry, I hit your toe.
Yeah, broke my foot.
Yeah. Toronto. Is it wrong to say that they have the best coach in the NBA? That rhymed.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you.
No, but they probably do have the best coach. People are saying they have a bad roster.
They do have a bad roster.
People are underrating them. They got a good team there. They're deep.
They have a good squad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say they
player.
have a good team, as in like the Clippers have a good team. They have 4 players that could put up 30 points a game. But like Toronto have a good squad. They all work for each other and with each other. They all trust their head coach, and I mean, you've just got players in there that are not superstars, but have like all-star level like performances. Like OG Anunoby, not like a amazing player, but defensively
elite,
and like even like Chris.
They just fit together.
Yeah, Chris.
Boucher.
Yeah,
he's such a good backup.
he has been incredible in this stretch. Like I just watching him play against when we beat them. Like, he was playing really well, and I was surprised we even beat the Raptors when we played them, because just I was so scared to play them. Like, Hollis Jefferson put up like 17 against us. Like, what? Like, they ball out regularly, and
even Rondé Hollis Jefferson.
Sorry, I just said yeah.
You said when he was playing for Brooklyn for his whole career, he was useless. He was on the court. He could do nothing.
I didn't think he was a good player, and he's been.
Well, when Toronto signed him, it was
incredible.
like, oh, lovely, can't wait to play him. We dominate him. But he's looking like a solid NBA player. The same hasn't happened for Stanley Johnson.
You know, you bigged up Stanley Johnson in the off-season, saying his defense was like.
I mean, yeah, he's alright.
Was a big level.
But like, they've made Patrick McCaw into a good player. He's starting games for him, which is mad. Norman Powell, he's on the season of his career. Pascal Siakam's taking this game to that next level.
Currently injured.
Of course, every player on this team is injured.
Yeah.
Fred VanVleet also injured, but he's taking his game to that next level. And the rookie, undrafted rookie, Terrence Davis, he literally told teams, do not draft me, because I want to go undrafted, so I have my own choice of teams.
Damn.
He did that, and now he's one of the better rookies.
With the best coach in the NBA.
Yeah, they're like the model run team. Like, looking at the Cavs or the Knicks, they aspire to be like the Raptors. Because they are such a well-run organisation, and year after year, they're always there competing.
Last season, hated Toronto. Don't really like Kawhi. Don't like Drake. So the playoff run was really annoying watching that. Watching Drake on the sideline with his Del Curry jersey on, covering up his Steph Curry tattoo. Fake. But this season, like last season, I was kind of just like, I hate them. Like, I hate Kawhi, he's so boring. Like, I don't like him. But this season is like, just wow, fair play.
Yeah.
Like, you're just playing, like, because, like, I see them similar to us. Don't laugh. Well, I feel like we have more superstars, or potential superstars. Because name a superstar or former superstar in the Toronto team. Siakam, like future.
Pascal.
Yeah, that's it. I wouldn't say.
Marc Gasol was a superstar.
Okay, I forgot about Big Mark.
Kyle Lowry used to average 22 and 10.
People were saying, does Kyle Lowry deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
Ooh.
I don't. He's borderline.
He's definitely not first ballot. Maybe in 10 years' time he might find himself in there.
He's one hell of a leader. But
I just don't like him moaning every game at the ref.
Yeah, and he's short and fat. But when you look at OKC, I mean, CP3, superstar, SGA.
If you're going to say SGA, does Fred VanVleet deserve to be on that same tier?
No, because Fred VanVleet's like 26, and he's done a stint of his career doing very little, and now to be like, people raving about Fred VanVleet, big fan also, but he didn't do much last season. He did big in the finals. People forget.
Yeah.
He put up 0 points.
Against us.
Kyle Lowry put up 0 points against Philly. But Fred VanVleet did very little in the playoffs. He turned up in the finals.
But his career's going to be over next year because he's going to the Knicks.
Rip. But this season, he has been great. But I don't like. He's nowhere near a superstar. He's just a good player.
He's like borderline all-star.
Yeah. So looking at that, it's like 2 for 2, but the players OKC have on our roster, like the Diallos, the Baisleys, the Terence Fergusons. No, they're not good. But then you look at like people on the Toronto roster, like Hollis Jefferson and Patrick McCaw. Like I would say the Toronto, like those guys on Toronto were better than Diallo and Nader and our guys. No, actually not Nader. Nader's a god. Take Nader out of that list. Like Diallo and T-Ferg. Take T-Ferg out of this. Oh, what am I saying? Just Diallo. Diallo and Deontay Burton.
Basley.
Them two. Oh, whoa, that's my rookie. You leave him. The Toronto boys are better, but they play 10 times better because of the team cohesion, how much of a squad they all are, and how good of a coach Mr. Dr. Nurse is.
Like, if you ask me which bench would I rather, Toronto or Thunder?
Toronto.
It's not even close.
Yeah. No, but that's not because they have superstars on their bench. It's because they work better. It's because they play better.
Who, know how to play.
I mean, a player that would fit perfectly on that Toronto team. You'll laugh at this. Dort would be incredible.
He would.
You'd be incredible in this Toronto team.
Yeah.
I almost, because I love Dort. When he played, the hustle he showed playing those like 3 games for OKC, I kind of want us to trade him or just like waiver him and give him to Toronto because I want to see that man shine.
Yeah.
Like I
know what you mean.
Yeah, Dort would be incredible as a shooting guard on that team.
I agree. He would be.
Sign Dort, Toronto.
At some games, they could have Serge Ibaka coming off the bench or Marc Gasol coming off the bench, you know?
Oh, sorry, another Serge Ibaka's a superstar. In my eyes, he is.
But they have such a well-built team, and people thought when Kawhi goes, with him going last year, this is the end for the Raptors, just rebuild. They've kept their team, and, you know, Anunoby, he's a good player. He's a very good player. Defensively elite, he can hit threes.
Decent three-point shot.
And
he's British.
Rebounded well. He is British.
Apparently. Yeah. Doesn't seem very British, but definitely from ends, like us guys.
Like us, what?
Like us, from ends.
Big up, Cameron Good.
Yeah, so Toronto, I hope you win the playoffs again.
I mean, if they win it, I wouldn't be disappointed. I'd rather them win in Boston.
Yeah. I would love to see Kyle Lowry with another ring.
Imagine the Raptors against the Clippers.
Brilliant. Oh. And Ibaka, like Kyle Lowry just steals Kawhi. Like, it's his game 7. And Kawhi's got the ball with like 5 seconds to go, like 10 seconds to go. It's tie game. He looks for a shot. Kyle Lowry sneaks in, steals it. Half court shot. Sinks it. Toronto winning it back to back. Yeah, that's a great dream to have. But Toronto, you're unlikely to win it. But I wish you all the best. I'll be watching you in the playoffs again.
That's the team I'm most scared of.
That's the team I want to win the most in the playoffs. Them or Celtics.
I just don't want to get knocked out by them again.
Yeah. I just want to be in the playoffs.
Because they will knock us out.
I just want to be in. Random fun fact. Because this can be a regular thing. Random fun fact. This season, OKC, our 3 leading scorers, Gallinari, SGA, and Dennis Schroeder, all Americans. Obviously, SGA being Canadian, Dennis being from Germany, and Gallo being from Italy. Do you know who was the last team and which 3 players had the same?
Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Dario Saric.
No. It was.
Is it not?
No. For the whole season to lead scoring for the team.
That were American.
It was Orlando Magic with Vucevic, Fournier, and Ibaka.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Fun little fact.
Damn, did Dario never get to our number 3 slot? Wow.
That's a thank you to the Brooklyn Nets commentary team for that one.
That's a good fact.
That is a good fact. The guy on the commentary for the Nets was trying to think of like back in the day with Nowitzki playing with somebody. And that's what I was trying to think of as well. I was thinking who was playing with Dirk, but no, that's a nice little stat. I like that. It was good. Serge Ibaka, my favourite man.
The second most wins of the decade.
Huh?
Behind LeBron. Serge Ibaka's got second most wins in the day.
Oh.
You sent it to me.
Did I?
Yeah, he's got the second most wins behind LeBron.
I love stats like that, whereas like it was like a player to average like so many points, and it was like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, like Kobe, Thaddeus
Thaddeus
Young. So, I love Thaddeus. Free Thaddeus Young, free Thaddeus Young, free Kevin Love, free the power forwards.
The list for the wins of the decade was like LeBron, was like Kobe, like all-time greats. Serge Ibaka number 2.
There was one. It was like points, steals, 3-point percentages, I think, and it was like Curry, Clay, Kelly Oubre. They're the best stats.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That Thaddeus Young was an all-time great. It was so specific.
Can we trade for Thaddeus Young? I love Thaddeus. I've always loved Thaddeus Young.
Philly legend. I'm stretching the word legend there.
Okay. So, trades have happened, and
one.
Yeah. Okay, a trade and a couple of trade rumours have happened over the Christmas period. Jordan Clarkson has left the slums of Cleveland to go and join Utah.
Good for him.
On Game of Zones, the Bleacher Report's excellent mini-series that they do.
The only thing good to come out of Bleacher Report.
Okay. Okay. But back in the day, they had an episode where it was the Brooklyn Nets, and it was Brook Lopez and the gang all praying to be traded.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same thing with Cleveland right now, and it was like the GM at the time came out and was like, Bogdan Bogdanovic, you're being traded, and it was kind of like Kevin Love standing there going, come on, please trade me, and it's like Jordan Clarkson. He's like, damn it. But hopefully Kevin Love gets a team in the future. But Jordan Clarkson, I'm happy for him, because I've always liked Jordan Clarkson, and I don't like the Cavs, and I think he could be a really good bench player. I mean, he started all right. He's doing slightly worse than he was doing for the Cavs.
But like when you go to a team that has actual talent, of course he's going to decline.
But and it's also been good for Exum, career high night the other night. And
this is his last chance in the NBA. If he feels that this is probably never going to play again.
And that'll be the last we'll ever talk about Clarkson and Exum, unless they do something crazy.
Yeah. I feel like Clarkson is that type of player who can go for 50. Like every year there's like Corey Brewer going for 50 or like some randomer. Clarkson has that sort of potential. So maybe we'll talk about him in the future.
Doubt it. There was rumours that Russ was on the trading block.
Already?
Yeah. They quickly got hushed away by Houston representatives, but Twitter blew up and went mental that day.
How many picks did OKC get from?
The Brooklyn commentators, I mentioned them a lot. It's because I just watched the game, and they were pretty good, to be fair. They weren't overly biased, and so shout out to Brooklyn. You're doing a good job. Nothing like
a good team.
Yeah, nothing like the Pelicans commentators who are scum
and Hawks. Disgusting.
But they said, I think in the next 10 or 9 years of the draft, we have 15 or 17 picks.
Probably closer to 20.
Yeah, I think it was 17 picks in the next 9 drafts. And we have 2 first-round picks this year. I mean...
But we might have your pick.
Shut up.
If Burf is in the top 20, you keep it.
You'll probably just draft some power forward.
Hey, we need to draft some good players. Give me a point guard.
Nope. Yeah, but Russ isn't being traded.
Not yet.
I saw a lot of Houston fans being annoyed about the fact that he was rumoured for trades, and I was like, are you not watching? You're not watching what's going on?
I think they're suffering the same sort of effects that OKC fans are witnessing. No, he's a good player, I swear. He's not.
It was so weird. You never realised how bad Russ was when he was on my team.
I always knew this would happen with you. You finally realise he was actually a bad player.
It's crazy.
But now you finally have a good point guard. You're realising how fun it is to have a good point guard.
3 good point guards.
3 good point guards.
And a great start. There was rumours. Well, Cat is kind of in the same boat as Kevin Love, but not always the same. No, but he did say he's fed up with the lack of progression the team has made from 2018, which is obvious and evident.
Yeah.
But I mean, Cat's one of those players that he'll either stay on an awful team for his whole career, or he'll be like the Cousins.
Boogie Cousins.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Boogie. He's gonna be like Cousins, and he'll go to a massive team and win a ring.
I can't blame Cat because I remember back in about 2015, 2016, after we just drafted Ben Simmons, there was a legit argument who has a better core, the Sixers or the Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves was the consensus choice. But since then, the Timberwolves are still at that same level, whereas the Sixers are contending for a championship.
But who has Rocco?
That's a good question.
Yeah, Timberwolves better.
Yeah.
Timberwolves in 5. Timberwolves in 5.
I can't agree with that logic.
Timberwolves in 5.
But it's just funny how different both teams have gone. And we took their best player. And gave him away for nothing.
So, free Cat and free Kevin Love. Kevin Love. I want this guy to go somewhere nice. He's multiple times gone into heated exchanges with the coaching staff.
It was funny
during games
on the court where he just lobbed the ball.
Yeah, on the court against OKC, he picked up the ball. Well, no, Clarkson was pointlessly dribbling the ball, as he often does, and as Channing Frye very nicely put. But we'll get on to that. And then Love came close, gave him the ball, and he just absolutely launched it at Colin Sexton. Not Colin Sexton, the other one.
Osmond.
Darius Garland.
Osmond.
I was Osmond. One of them.
But
One of the bombs.
The dumb coach, he came out and took blame for it. So basically, Love had a mismatch. He had a point guard guarding him. And so he obviously thought the coach is going to call a play for me to get easy 2 points. But then he ended up calling a play for one of the little point guards. And that was the frustration. He walked up saying, I don't like this. Got the ball and just lobbed it at the Turkish man. So, I understand him.
Yeah, and
I guess you could say Love didn't love that play call.
I like you to make jokes. Cleveland come out and said that they weren't going to fine Kevin Love for these emotional outbursts during games.
Stupid. You need to assert your dominance.
Yeah, they're really being submissive.
Yeah.
But and they also said that there's a lack of interest in Kevin Love due to his contract and his inconsistencies.
And injury history.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really blame
You can't
him for
argue
not
with
wanting
it.
him.
But please, somebody take Kevin Love. He's Russ's mate. They were mates in college. They used to share a room. They used to stay in the same room.
But Kevin Love is acting all entitled. I deserve to win and all that. I don't know if he said that. I probably believes it.
You've made that up.
But he's moaning about winning, about not winning. But when you look at his career, so in his 4 years with LeBron, he won most of the games, obviously. But if you take those 4 years out, was it 4 years? Yeah, 4 years maybe. Take those years out with LeBron, his career winning percentage is like 30%. So you should be used to losing. Don't start complaining now. You've done it all your whole career.
Yeah, but it's when you start off bad and then you get King James on your team. You have a good few years.
Got that taste of winning.
Yeah, and then you're like,
he's never gonna have it that good.
I
again.
love this winning, and then he leaves, and then go to Golden State.
He signed the contract though. He signed the contract with Cleveland.
I was But did he sign it when LeBron was still there?
No, you knew LeBron was going, and he signed it.
Stupid move, Kevin. Stupid move.
It's your own fault.
Because a few years ago, after the whole Cleveland domination, you probably could have got somewhere good in free agency. It's your own fault, Kev.
We did get a lot of money, so who's the real winner?
We did get a lot of money.
Yeah.
But he's living in Cleveland.
That's a good point.
Andre Drummond has also been a part of a lot of trade rumours, and he actually came out the other day and said that he wants to finish his career in Detroit. Not a clue why.
Are you dumb?
Yeah,
why would you want to live in Detroit?
Why would anybody want to live or finish their career in Detroit? And especially when you're being linked with Atlanta.
Yeah, go to Atlanta.
Yeah, because, that trade...
I mean, it's not up to him, obviously.
No, it's not.
Maybe in the summer when the contract is up there.
But Drummond to Atlanta, it's only good... The only person who wins there is Atlanta and Drummond, really. Because if you look at what that potential trade could be, it would be one of the young players that have Atlanta leaving, probably Cam Reddish.
Unfortunately.
And that kills his career.
Yeah, he is over.
That kills his career dead in the grave. Atlanta get a little bit better because they get a good centre instead of Alex Len, but I wouldn't do the trade. I wouldn't trade him. I didn't trade for him. If I was Atlanta, I wouldn't trade for him. I would. Can they afford to get him in the off season?
Yeah, they got tons of money in the off season.
No point trading away your young players and picks when you can get him in the off season and there's
no point to trade for him now because they're not going to win.
There's no point to trade for him now because you're not getting into there's no chance you get into the playoffs. I mean, just take this season off. The cat's back.
But if Detroit can trade him and get some sort of asset for him, something would be better than nothing because they want to start their rebuild. I think now, if they can get rid of him right now, they can tank and get a good pick. I know the draft isn't that great, but, I mean, having the first pick in the draft is better than having the 10th, obviously.
Obviously, Blake Griffin is probably going to retire very soon.
He's probably going to miss the rest of the season.
Another injury, that's done. But one positive coming from that is Sekou Doumbia is
Oh,
playing
yeah.
basketball.
Finally he's playing.
And he caught a body.
Yeah, he did.
Tristan Thompson, I saw a very good there's a very good comment on a post of the video, and it said Doumbia ruined Tristan Thompson worse than the Kardashians did.
Ooh.
Very true.
Yeah.
Good comment. But yeah, finally playing, and like I said at the beginning of the year in the draft, I said this kid is special. I was watching his highlights in France, and I said this guy, he's got something about him. He could come into this league and he could be a baller.
And of course he went to the worst possible team.
He went to the worst possible team, but in 2 games he's played, he is balling. Well, he's played more than 2 games, but in the past 2 games he's played, he is balling.
Maybe he needs a bigger sample size before you make it.
No. I might have said the same about Kobe White, and he's done nothing since the first few games in the Summer League, but what a baller. We're in January now. The All-Star break is in February, and news is starting to come out about that. The dunk contest, Dwight Howard, Superman is back.
Zach LaVine has been invited.
Ja Morant's been invited.
I hope those two do it.
And who's the other guy?
Derek Jones Jr.
Derek Jones Jr. and Superman have accepted, so they'll definitely
Derek
be
Jones
there.
is in, is he?
Derek Jones
Love
accepted. He's definitely going to be in. Superman, Dwight Howard, he's in there. Do we really care?
No.
He's lost his athleticism.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
old.
think he'll be that great.
He'll be out
but
first round.
we need Zach LaVine and Ja Morant. And if not
Aaron
Ja
Gordon
Morant...
needs to be in there.
Yeah. I've not seen much of Aaron Gordon this
Yeah,
season.
he's doing bad this season.
Yeah. But if you don't get one of the... Can we take Dwight and get Hamid Diallo in?
Yeah. I would do that. Get Zaire Smith in. I know he hasn't even played this season. Get him in.
Get Doumbia in.
I would love to see Ben Simmons do it. So he can fly. He can
Yeah,
fly.
I know. But he's just so vanilla as a basketball
Ben
player.
would be the type of person to hit a 3-point shot in a dunk contest.
He would bounce the ball and he would go in before
he
you dunk it. But the first round of the All-Star voting
It's a
is
joke.
in, and I think they've taken the meme slightly too
It
far.
happens every year.
I'm trying to
Do you
look for the
remember
list.
Zaza Pachulia?
Yeah, that was a funny
That-
year though. That
That annoyed me. I
No,
hated Zaza because
to
of
be,
that.
to be fair, the Zaza Pachulia thing didn't annoy me. I was like, okay, because he was one player. I thought, okay, that's
It
kind of
happened
funny.
year after year though with him.
Yeah, I know, but it never happened. It never actually. He never got into the
Thankfully.
All-Star game. So it was kind of like, it would be kind of funny if Zaza Pachulia played in an All-Star game because he'd look like a fish out of water.
Yeah.
But the list this year, in the West, I mean, obviously LeBron is leading the way, front court wise. AD, Kawhi, PG, Kat, Zingu.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe
does he
just has his
deserve
country.
it?
voting for him.
Jokic, fair enough. Melo.
Kristaps is above Jokic.
Kristaps is 6th. He's got 10,000 more votes than Jokic.
Oh my god.
Melo. I mean, I
No.
get it, but
You just deserve it.
Tiny Dog, Brandon Ingram, and then Dwight Howard. And then guards, Luka, James Harden, Lillard, Steph Curry. He's not going to be fit for the All-Star game.
He hasn't even played.
I get, but I get voting for him, but it's not even like he said, I'll be back for the All-Star game. He's not even going to be back for the All-Star game. Russ, D'Lo, Donovan Mitchell, Alex Caruso.
I hope this meme dies. Not the person, the meme.
No, yeah. The meme is
Needs to go
very
away.
much dead. It's not funny. It was funny when somebody photoshopped his arm to be massive in training. That was funny.
Was that photoshopped?
Yeah, that was
Oh.
that picture was photoshopped. He got drug tested after it, slightly just after that picture got released. But yeah, it was funny at that point, and people were saying early season that the Lakers were unbeaten when Caruso would dunk,
Yeah.
and so that was kind of funny. But he's not playing any. He barely plays. He's not making any highlight plays, and he had that one dunk in the other game, which he was clean open, and it was a basic dunk, and he was like all the players behind him were jumping as well, and it was like
Yeah.
a scene. But that made like highlight reels, and I was like, 90% of the players in the NBA make that basket. It's not difficult. It's nothing special. This whole meme is becoming really annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, you said it perfectly.
And
He
Ja
needs to go
Morant's the
away.
other player in the West.
Oh.
And Booker. And then in the East, Giannis, for front court, Giannis, Embiid, Pascal, Jimmy Butler, Tatum, Taco Fall.
Yes. I would love to see you would just stand there and block everything. It would be fun.
It would be funny for Taco to be in there because, like,
Because
He's the tallest player in the NBA currently, not the tallest player ever. This is what I don't get. He's not the tallest ever player to play in the NBA.
he's close though.
But he's third. But I just don't understand why the hype's around him and not
I think
the players who've been before him.
because what he did in college against Zion just shut them down.
True. But other players, Bam, Gordon Hayward, Drummond, and Domantas Sabonis. So, keep on for Sabonis, guys. I mean, I've not been voting, so I keep forgetting. But keep on for Sabonis. Get that higher. And then the guards, Trae Young, Kyrie, Kemba, D-Rose. Fair enough, D-Rose. D-Rose is in the skills game.
You shouldn't be an all-star, though.
D-Rose is in the skills game, so that'd be nice, fun to watch. Zach LaVine. Who's my favorite? Ben Simmons, Jaylen Brown, Kyle Lowry, Bradley Beal, Spencer Dinwiddie.
Jaylen Brown is low.
Yeah.
He should be above Ben and Zach
But,
LaVine.
Zach LaVine shouldn't be in there. Get SGA.
No.
But yeah, like, some of the memes need to stop. I'm okay with every year we pick one player to kind of meme and be like, all right, let's get Rondo Hollis-Jefferson in the All-Star team next year. Like, I'm okay with picking one random player and just not making, like, a massive meme around them, like with Alex Caruso, and, like, having lots of unfunny pictures of Caruso.
But thankfully, the fan vote only accounts for 50% of the actual vote, so,
yes.
like Zaza Pachulia, they'll never make it in the All-Star game.
So let's just hope that nobody votes Caruso.
Yep.
Because you can see, when you're watching games and watching like Lakers games, you see some of the broadcasters, they jump on board with the Caruso meme. It's like, don't vote for him. Don't vote for him. So yes, let's hope that meme well and truly dies before the All-Star break, and Caruso falls out the league. No, sorry, Alex. Usually we do team of the week, but we've been gone for a month, so we'll do team of the month. It's hard enough picking a player, like 5 players in like the week, but 5 players for a month, yeah, it was difficult. But we've picked a team, so we'll go player for player like we always do. The guards I've picked are SGA and Luka Doncic.
Same with me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we've gone for
the same team apart from centers.
Yeah. Okay, let's just go for them all then.
Yeah.
Small forward Jaylen Brown, power forward
LeBron.
Big LeBron.
Big
I mean, Shea has been a part of a team that have gone 9-2.
And he's just a good player.
And he's been putting up like
points.
You'll have like a few games where he puts up like 14 in that, but mostly it's been over 20. And I mean, he hit 32 again. He's hit 32 twice or 3 times this season. That's his career high. He just can't get higher than 32.
Yeah.
It's very sad. Doncic, I mean, he missed 3 games at the beginning of the month, and then he put up 30 plus 5 times, 3 of them being triple doubles.
So he's bounced back well from his injury.
The kid's mental.
Just good,
but problem I have with...
He's a ball hog.
Okay. Well, I mean, on the team he is, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, sure.
The one thing I don't like about Doncic, which is one negative I have for the Nets commentary team last night, which, again, a lot of coverage in this podcast for some reason, is one of the guys, I don't know their names because I'm not interested, he said, is Doncic the best European player in NBA history? Now,
hell no.
Big fat no.
Nope.
I don't care if he puts up 50, 10, or 20 and 20 this season. I don't care if he averages that for the season. He's only been in the league for 2 years. 1 year he was good. 2nd year he's been Hall of Fame level numbers.
Nowhere close to Ben Simmons, the best
Shut up.
international prospect ever.
Shut up. If Doncic does this season for 5 years, then we can start talking about it.
5 years? More than that.
No, if he does like, what was he doing now? Like 30...
8 and 8.
8 and 8. If
That's
he does
LeBron numbers.
If he does that for 5 years, then I'm saying, okay, maybe we can start talking about it. But don't you disrespect Dirk Nowitzki like that. Dirk Nowitzki carried a team to a championship against all odds. That man is a legend. And to play on the same team as Doncic, and for you just to disregard Dirk like that and just say that Doncic could be the best European player ever, and you're not even thinking about Bruno Caboclo. And centres, I went for AD, you went for Nikola Jokic.
The best European player of all time.
AD, yeah, I agree. AD, I mean...
The money, bro.
Best team in the league. Best team in the West.
I just did Jokic for that 47-point game the other day.
And I went for a special player off the bench, Dennis Schroeder off the bench, because 17 games, 17 plus points. The best player off the bench in the NBA this season.
No.
I don't even know who Lou Williams is.
I'm Montrezl Harrell is better.
Shut your face. Shut your face. Player of the month. Player of the month. You went for...
I went for Jokic and Jaylen Brown since there was no other play in the East of my team. So
yeah. And Jaylen
Slim
Brown
pickings.
had a lovely Christmas, didn't he? Had a lovely Christmas.
Mm.
His career high. I went for LeBron James and Nikola... No, I didn't. I went for LeBron James and Luka Doncic. I mean... We've said all we need to say about Luka Doncic.
Good play.
Puts up 30 a few times and does it really well. We're done. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Post Up Podcast. Next week we will be back into normal sort of podcast scheduling type thing. I don't know what I'm saying. Because it'll actually be a week of basketball to talk about, not a month.
Yeah.
And it probably won't be as long. Because another long one today. Spoiling the world with long podcasts. Thanks for listening. Follow us on Twitter at postup_podcast. And watch the podcast. Bye bye. Brah.